Welcome everyone to First Presbyterian Church's first virtual alternative Christmas gift fair. We've been doing alternative gifts since 2006 as a way to make Christmas meaningful again. We've been inspired by the Advent Conspiracy, a movement to help keep Christ in the center of Christmas. We want to worship fully, spend less, give more, and love all. So come travel with us now as we visit some of our mission partners right here in our city and around the world and look at the ways we might invest in their ministry as a gift to someone this Christmas.
Olá, amigos da Hope. Aqui é o pastor Deli, superintendente geral da Hope Unlimited no Brasil. Quero falar pouco de nosso programa. Nosso programa constitui em área residencial, onde acolhemos nossas crianças e adolescentes quando chegam para nós em situação de risco. Depois nós temos escola acadêmica e curso profissionalizante, que vai dar suporte para a saída deles do projeto. Temos também a Igreja dos Graduados. Nela atendemos as crianças do projeto, os jovens que já saíram e ainda a comunidade. Assim, cumprimos a nossa missão, provendo um futuro produtivo, cheio de esperança em Deus.
Welcome and Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for letting us be a part of your alternative Christmas market at Hope Unlimited for Children. I'm Laura Becker-Lupke, Executive Director, U.S. Operations, and I have 3 gift ideas for you. Number 1, $5 will give one of our children a Bible. Amazing. Number 2, $21 will give our kids a pair of shoes. Number 3, $30 will give them a welcome bag with lots of goodies. The bag will include hygiene products, the ever-present candy, and the very lovable and irresistible and cuddly teddy bear. So thank you for making us a part of your Christmas market. Merry Christmas.
This is really just something that God did because I probably would have been doing the Jonah thing if he would have told me to go start an orphanage in Ecuador. So just one child at a time, Casa de Fe became Casa de Fe. It's kind of amazing to think that over the last 15 years, we've cared for over 400 kids.
They are loved unconditionally, no matter where they came from, and we want them to come to know that also by God, and to always be able to go to Him and depend on Him for His guidance and providing for them.
I got a little girl a few years ago, and she was very, very sick, and she died about 4 days after we got her. And I was just like really mad at God, and I thought, God, why did you even bring her to us? And very clearly, God told me that He didn't bring her to us to He didn't bring her to us to heal, He brought her to us to love. And so basically that kind of changed my whole frame of thinking. And so, yeah, they go to school, they play football, they do just all the normal stuff that kids do, and we just love them.
There is, of course, the Great Commission in life, go out and make disciples of all nations. But God had other commandments too, such as go out and feed the hungry, clothe the naked, take care of the oppressed. These kids have not known anything other than Casa de Fe most of their life. They have not had a parental figure in their lives. That is what we are providing. A lot of our work is mundane. We get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and feed them breakfast. We get them to school. We make sure their schoolwork is done. We help them study. We have a tutor. So it is a lot of repetitive work, just like real life.
Thank you, everybody out there that supports Casa de Fe.
I'm talking to you from Erseka, Albania. I'm here outside the House of Hope, and I want to tell you about something we're really excited about. It's November, we're headed into December, and for Christmas, we are looking to do 3 very important, exciting projects here in Erseka. The first is we're helping a widow from our church to find a home. She's raised some of the money, and we want to help her purchase a place that she could call her own for herself and her 4 children. And the second thing we're doing is we're trying to put a playground in. We have a little playground here at the House of Hope, but we're putting one in at the camp for the Bible school and camp and for children there. And the third project is another playground here in the town that we're going to put together. So here we're going to Memi's house. I'll take you in the way that she has to go. You can see it's really not very nice. Watch your head. These stairs we've actually rebuilt a couple times, but they're really in bad shape. You can take a look at those. Okay, I'm here with Memi and 3 of her kids, and we're actually at the church right now. We're playing volleyball in the background. I just wanted to introduce you briefly to her. Smiling, they're already smiling. Hey! I don't think this thing will drive, actually. It's old Chinese import, and we're going to make this into a playground. This playground is about 1,700 square feet, fitting right here at the camp, and it'll be a place where kids can play. The older kids, of course, will be on the tower, but a place for younger kids, swings and seesaws and things like this in this whole area. Okay, so now you are seeing the truck from the other side, the playground, and if I spin around here, past the trampoline, there's the new building. We'll just cover that for a second. And then we come past the towers here. We just planted some grass here, and you look, and over there in the other building, you see Linda, up with Donica from Kosovo.
In 1992, our church was invited by a young newly married couple, Ian and Kiralee Loring, to come on over to Albania and help them share the gospel as the country was just opening up after the fall of an oppressive communist regime. From their base in Korça, the major city of southern Albania, the vibrant evangelical church of Korça pioneered the church, planting work in the entire region. Responding to community needs over the years led the team and the church to establish a foundation that operates significant social services in the community. There are 3 alternative gift items that are investments in the social services provided in Korça through this congregation. 1 day of care for a young girl at the Safe House, hot meals for 25 children at the Street Kids Center, and 1 week of meals and other help for an elderly shut-in. Thanks for considering an investment in their important work.
Giddy up, let's go. Let's look at the show.
Hey First Press, this is Terry Jarina, and I don't know if you know this, but a few years ago, Karen Chambers and I went to Ethiopia. We spent some time in Addis Ababa, and we also had the opportunity to drive through the countryside. We visited a ministry that we've supported for a number of years called Hope Enterprises. It was begun by Presbyterian missionaries and now is under very capable Ethiopian leadership. In Dese, way up north, this is what we experienced. Eager kids learning, great facilities, and everywhere else that we went, into villages around the area, we saw that kids were having a great opportunity for health care, for education, and for planning for a future. Some kids have to travel pretty far to come to school, and they're excited to do that. One of the features of Hope Enterprises is their ladders of success, and they have a strong emphasis in vocational training. From construction, other aspects of plumbing and manufacturing. Another emphasis is hospitality and training for folks in that field. And it was so exciting to watch how these young people were engaging and preparing for future work. Two of our most popular alternative gift items come from this ministry. Breakfast for street children, which I actually got to see served, and a sheep or a goat for a family's income. Hope Enterprises is a great ministry and we're proud to support them.
Hi, this is Chris Haas from Horn of Africa Mission, and we're a ministry that shares the gospel with people who have little to no access to hearing about Jesus in East Africa, North Africa, and the Middle East. And for the last 19 years, we've seen God move powerfully with hundreds of thousands responding to the good news and many simple churches being planted by our local evangelists. So thank you, First Press, for the way you've stood with Dr. Marco Samedi and this ministry through the years. Your just generosity, your encouragement, your prayers have been such a gift to us. So thank you. It's fun to be on the same team with you, bringing the gospel into these dark places and seeing God have the victory. So we have 3 specific ways that your generosity can help with Horn of Africa. Number 1 is Bibles. For $10, we can buy a Bible and get it into a new believer's hands. And we just desire, obviously, that to be the first thing, to get into their hearts and transform them as well as their villages. Secondly, $40 towards a used cell phone. So this is an incredible tool among our local church planters and our mobilizers, not only for communication, but for training materials, resources. You're basically buying them a mobile office that is a great tool for them. And maybe you just want to start a phone drive at your church and I could take it on my next trip. Lastly, there's $45 goes towards an entrance visa. In these next few years, we're excited to send hundreds of missionaries cross-culturally into the surrounding countries, and they're either going on a business venture or raising local support, but we can encourage them by helping take care of their initial fees. So $45 towards entrance visa would be great. Again, thank you for considering these gifts: a Bible for $10, a used cell phone $40, or a visa fee for $45. So we would love your continued prayers as well. Right now, Ethiopia is in the beginnings of an ugly civil war, and we could all desperately use your prayers for God to reign powerfully over that whole region. So thank you again for who you are and what you do, First Press.
Good morning. This is Timothy and Abigail working in North Africa with the Darfur refugees, and we are so grateful to God for what He's done to transform their lives through your partnership with us. We now have about 48 adults and about 35 kids and some more coming. So we have a large group of 4 fellowships in Cairo. The key need we have for this Christmas is for them to have medical exams. Obviously all of us are pretty concerned about health right now, but this would be such a help to them. They have what they need for their scholarship, for their studies and so forth, but when it comes to the medical issue, that's a tough one. So about $45 would be enough for them to get a good exam from a Christian doctor. We have Christian doctor friends in our city, and then with the follow-up medical exams and labs and things like this. So if you could help us with this Christmas, we'd really appreciate it, and God bless you.
My name is Dakolungu. I am from the Congo, born and raised. I came to Fresno in 2005 as a student. Went to school at Fresno Pacific and finished in 2010. Since then, I've been on the mission, seeking God on how to bring about change in my country. In terms of ministry as an entity that speaks for the gospel, but also now serving in a different capacity as a congressman in the Congo, over the district of Kasongo-Lunda that has over 1 million people with no access to clean drinking water. Well, the entire country has more than close to 100 million population, but I would say with certitude that more than 50% of those people never had access to clean drinking water. The first thing that water will change in this village is babies won't have to die anymore. When the water is dirty, the food is dirty. Disease is there. When water is in the village, there is joy. As we go to put a well, it's a chance for us to preach who Jesus Christ is. If we come in and talk about Christ, if the person gave his life to Jesus Christ, he might have come to us because he was thirsty. But now we double bless him with a clean water and the living water. That's why water become even more important to us as we think about changing the world and building the kingdom of God, one person at a time.
One of the ways First Pres moves beyond being a church in our neighborhood, or a church that does ministry to our neighborhood, toward being a church that is in ministry with our neighborhood, is through our intentional partnerships. There are 3 great examples of these partnerships on our shopping list this year. The home at 357 North Glen was a neighborhood partnership when Marty and Joni Martin first purchased it, and it remains so now that Oscar and Julie Rodriguez made it their home and ministry hub. They are standing in the gap in this unique season. We've worked collaboratively for years to provide a week-long summer program for children from all over our city. City Bible Adventure strives to nurture and disciple kids in our community as they respond to the gospel and grow as disciples. What joy to have the body of Christ come together for this purpose. CBA partners include Bethany Inner City Church, World Impact, Martin Park, and On Ramps Covenant Church. Our Neighbors Are Us was launched in partnership with Bethany Inner City Church with a pantry food box gift to neighborhood families in December. It's intended to go beyond providing a meal to, and instead it's resources for many meals for families while their children are not at school during the Christmas break. Assembling and distributing these boxes has become a great holiday tradition for many here at FPS.
Hey church family, it's Randy White. Many of you know that Tina and I have lived in the Lowell neighborhood now for almost 3 decades. Thank God in that time the neighborhood has really improved a lot, but it's still a high poverty neighborhood. We've learned over time that on top of the very common relief efforts that churches often offer, such as food assistance or repairs or training or tutoring, neighborhoods like Lowell often need a deeper set of skills. And because of poverty, for example, residents get preyed upon by payday lenders who charge 459% interest, and they don't have access to the basic financial skills that you and I take for granted. Or residents have dreams, for example, of opening their own business to provide income, but sometimes don't have access to the best process or resources that are available. Sometimes because of language, they don't have access to leadership training that could give them the skills to become agents of positive change in the neighborhood. And those are just some of the examples of why we created the Center for Community Transformation. We train churches in several specific skill sets that are transformational in neighborhoods like Lowell, all throughout the Central Valley. And then we help churches apply them to accomplish God's work there. I'll never forget coming into one of our financial literacy classes, for example, and seeing Josie, who, because of what she had learned in our class, was waving her payday lender payoff slip, saying, "I'll never go back to those slaveholders again." And it's just one example of how to seek the peace of the city. God said in Jeremiah, "Seek the peace of the city to which I've sent you, and pray to the Lord on its behalf, for in its peace you'll find your peace." So thank you so much for your support.
Hey friends, I'm Gerard Brumfield, the Director of College Ministry here at First Pres. And one of the joys of my job is that I get to help students understand their role in joining Christ in His restoration of creation. No matter what their career choice may be, it could be education, law, medicine, anything, understanding how their role begins to fit into God's kingdom. And one of the ways we get to do that is we invite students to go to Jubilee. And this year, the whole conference will be virtual. So what will that look like is that we're going to have the students come together and enjoy the conference together, but still virtually with people all across our country. A few ways that your gift will help us will be that we're going to pay for the retreat costs. Also, help students be able to afford to going to this virtual conference this year. And of course, paying for food. So thank you for your help.
Hi, my name is Jay Pope, and I'm a member at First Presbyterian Church. I'm also a licensed clinical psychologist, and for many of the last several years, it's been my pleasure to have worked as a counselor and a staff therapist at Link Care Center here in Fresno. One of the things that really excites me about my job is that I have gotten to work with pastors and their families in therapy for the last several years. And I'm at the right place. Link Care was founded in 1965, and the purpose of Link Care and its founder, Stanley Lindquist, was to be able to provide pastoral counseling, regular therapeutic counseling, and other forms of therapy for pastors, missionaries, and their families. This is a really wonderful vision, and the program that we've had for the last several years that's designed to get more pastors and their families into counseling is the Pastoral Care Fund. And I'm talking to you today because I'd like to invite you to consider giving for the Alternative Gift Fair this year. I know a lot of pastors have expressed thanks that this program, which is designed to provide either free or low-cost counseling, they've expressed a lot of gratitude because it's meant so much for them, and they've really benefited from it. And I've had the opportunity to work with several dozen pastors and missionaries and their families over the last several years. And it's just a really wonderful program. So if you would consider giving, I'd really appreciate that. And I know they would appreciate it even more. Thank you so much, and Merry Christmas.
Met a lot of new friends of the STM.
I love this camp.
I love it.
It is life-changing. It will cause you to see people and the world in a different light, and it's worth it.
The fact that I can just come down here and let go of my kids and then enjoy, my wife and I, the time that we have here at the camp, it's one of the most wonderful experiences.
Johnny and Friends Family Camp is a week where families affected by disability and people who are here to serve intersect.
An STM is a buddy for each child that is affected by disability.
Everyone gets a buddy, an STM, and you just get to hang out with these kids or adults for a whole week.
So many families with disabilities, they can't go places very often, they can't do things.
A lot of families that have special needs, they don't attend church because of the fact that they feel that they are intruding.
We had to drop out of our church, and so for about 3 years we didn't have a church home.
Every year it is so incredible. If you can go anywhere in the world and take a vacation, I would rather come here because I experience Christ here.
It's been stretching and it's been uncomfortable, but it has been the best time of my life.
We've been blessed, I think, more than the families have. And
don't be afraid. Everyone's afraid. They train you. They have a day right before camp happens, and they go through a super cool PowerPoint, and we take on the characteristics of the disabilities to just find out how they feel.
My first year, I was really not knowing what to expect. I was kind of scared, but once I got here, a loving family, and I just can't imagine it without it. And it's really a blessing.
I would say anyone who has doubt or reservations, they're not founded.
I like family and friends.
I love family retreat a lot.
I like how much we learn about God.
And it's been a blessing more than I can count.
We look forward all year to the fellowship of coming here to this camp.
You just meet a lot of new people, and you just see all the people that are going through the same thing as you, and you just realize that you're not alone.
We're just feeling doubly blessed because Nate's having a wonderful time, as are we.
We always joke when we're in public, we're kind of like we have the wheelchairs, the autism, everything. When we're here, everything's We're all the same.
My thinking prior to this experience in the last 4 years was skewed. It was skewed by a worldly way of looking at things. Step outside yourself and give of yourself, and I'm telling you, you're going to receive much more than you give.
Come on and just see what God does in your life. You'll go back a changed person.
Hi, I'm Matt.
Hi, I'm Rhonda. I'm Emily. I'm Sarah. And we're the Pink House Interns.
On a typical Tuesday night, some of us will make dinner for the house, while the rest of us just enjoy time in fellowship and community together.
After dinner, we'll have class with our sister house for micro projects, and then we'll have community time.
Some of our favorite topics so far have been how to share our story, the kingdom of God in our modern world, biblical community, and hidden biases.
This program has given us an opportunity to really learn so much about ourselves and grow in our faith in ways that we haven't been able to before.
So in case you haven't noticed, this house is getting pretty old.
Literally everything in the Pink House has been donated to us and gifted to us by our community, and we're really blessed to have a group of community around us that is willing to help us.
Some things on our list for refurbishing are new floors, new window covers, and funding for our winter retreat.
Thank you for supporting the Pink House.
I'm Sarah Dawson from Evangel Home. We're a homeless shelter for single women and women with children. Our motto is Christ leads, people care, and lives change. It's where the cycle of crisis ends, lives are reconciled to Jesus Christ, families and relationships are restored, and the future holds hope for the next generation. Kimberly and her wonderful children came to us not long ago after they lost their home and were grieving a significant loss. She knew she needed more than just 30 days to be able to face the world again, so she joined our 9-month program where she is learning more about who God is, learning to say no, and how to teach her children. She has hope. Your gift of the essential items is more than just an item. It helps a woman like Kimberly feel that she is loved and cared for. This is their first opportunity to know that they are safe, that they can get out of survival mode and learn to thrive. It is more than just money and things we are asking for. It is the love that is behind it that shines through. We are so incredibly grateful for you. Bye.
Hello, First Press. My name is Paul Varela. I'm a counselor here at Hope Now for Youth. We want to thank you for considering our ministry this year as you guys contemplate ministries that are working within Christ redeeming transformation in our city and throughout our world. Hope Now for Youth is a faith-based gangs to job ministry. God uses Hope Now for Youth in assisting young men who are coming from street survival into a life of success and productivity. And yet within this venture for these young men, they become law-abiding parents and citizens. Of course, this is only done by introducing the gospel of Jesus Christ and providing a caring relationship and full-time employment for the men. This year, we're asking, would you consider helping out a young man with either a bike lock and a light for $15 or a pair of work boots for $35? These items are essential for a young man coming off the streets. Many of the men that we work with do not have driver license yet, although Hope Now does walk alongside these men to help them get them. But in the meantime, a bike lock is essential, as a bicycle is their only means of transportation to work. Second, work boots. They're important and they're a requirement for many of the men who are being hired into packing houses. Your gift of either item will go a long way in helping and assisting a young man coming off of the streets and rather into a life full of productivity. God bless you and thank you.
It's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, let's go.
Greetings. Members of the Exodus Presbyterian Church joyfully sing, "Thank you, Lord. Always to you I give thanks. You are the way, truth, and eternal life. You will not leave us as orphans. You are comfort to me. I am safe with you in times of calamity." This ministry supports the faith and education of families walking in exodus from oppression and dehumanization. In the pandemic, school teachers train online. During the time of school closure, teachers go from village to village 4 days a week, interacting with parents and students as family. They encourage, teach, and give assignments in person. The other 2 days of the teaching week, they communicate by cell phone. Whether one child or many in a village, they give their best through their students. This year, the ministry started 4 self-supporting primary schools in the new home education plan. Whether there is a pandemic or not, people adjust. They are used to surviving in hardships. The new school year is well on its way. Your donations help children and teachers step ahead in their journey of exodus. We are grateful to you. Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas to our friends, supporters, and prayer partners of First Presbyterian Church in Fresno. My name is Debbie, and I am a co-founder and the consultant for an anti-human trafficking organization in Southeast Asia. Our name is Pearl. It's an acronym in both languages, meaning preventing exploitation, actively restoring lives. And this year, as we consider Christmas moving forward, a few of the gifts that I thought that would be helpful from you are books to help when our after school reading program. We gather kids from the neighborhood and teach them better reading skills and help them with their homework. More books will be helpful. This is a fun children's gift. For $5, we can buy 3 books. For $15, we can feed one of our residents for a week in our unofficial and in 2021, our official safe house that will be opening. It's called New Beginnings. And then a service that goes on, a need that we need is internet in our office and in our safe house. So for $45 a month, we can continue to use good quality Wi-Fi services for our residents and for our staff. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you all, and I know we'll have a great new year in 2021.
What a great trip. Now I know you're inspired to gift differently, so let me tell you how to do it. Our website has this homepage slide that'll take you to a place where you can get to our online order form. It's pretty self-explanatory, and you enter and it calculates the amount. Toward the end, when you're completing your order, you select the cards that you want to wrap those gifts. And then we'll organize your gift inserts that describe the gift and the ministry they're connected to. They're way more colorful this year. We'll have them all ready for you to pick up at the church office during the week, and we can make arrangements for other sorts of deliveries. We want to help you gift differently. It's our joy.